Sup Reittannites, Reitanna Seishin here. Now, I was going to make a list of top 20 Pokemon, but out of 718, it was absolutely impossible for me to narrow it down to 20 favorite Pokemon. So instead, I'm going to do top 10 lists from each generation. That's just easier, and it covers more, and we're gonna do this. So this is gonna be a series! Yay! Fun! Now, the rules is I'm going to try not to include Pokemon from the same evolutionary line. It does not include legendaries, unless I do a top 10 favorite legendary list. And my opinion about the Pokemon doesn't have to do with stats, because I don't understand stats, and I could care less about stats as long as the Pokemon is, good. And now, here we go. Top 10 favorite Generation 1 Pokemon. Number 10, Raichu. Sorry, Pikachu, you didn't make this list. Of course, I love Pikachu. Pikachu is cute and seems pretty powerful the way Ash uses it, because Ash is the hero, and heroes always are more powerful than everybody else. But Raichu, something about Raichu, I just love him so much, because it's not just cute like Pikachu is, but it's badass. It's got a great design. I love the little thunderbolt on its long tail. It looks a little more like a mouse than Pikachu does. Even its ears, though they're pointy and have those cute little swirls, it still looks a little more like a mouse. And it's got those little mouse-like feet. And you guys know how much I like rats. So, mice and rats look very similar, and Raichu is rad enough for me. It's rad, and it's rat enough for me. Reitanna made a terrible joke. Its color scheme is also perfect. It's not the super yellow that Pichu and Pikachu have. It's got brownish orange. I really feel like Raichu should have gotten a Mega Evolution, because Pikachu is basically the entire series mascot, and so its mascot's evolution should have a Mega. And I actually drew what I thought would be fitting for Mega Raichu. As for its moveset, it can learn a variety of different kinds of moves. Obviously, it knows normal attacks like most Pokemon do, and electric attacks. But it can also learn some fighting-type moves, which are very helpful. It can learn Grass Knot, and it can learn Fling and Thief, which are dark-type moves. And then defensive psychic moves. And Rain Dance for some reason. Interesting. It can also learn Dig. I personally like Dig. Dig is a good move. But overall, Raichu just has the perfect balance of cuteness and badassery. And that's what you gotta have. You just gotta have that equilibrium between cute and badass. Raichu! Number 9, Clefairy! Now, I like Clefairy and Clefable, but in my opinion, Clefairy's just cuter. And I'm a sucker for cute Pokemon. I'm also a sucker for Fairy-type Pokemon, and I know in Generation 1 there was no such thing as Fairy-type, but it is now. I'm no Gen 1er, so screw that. It's got the swirl on its head like Jigglypuff, which I feel it really just pulls the cute together, and it's even got little claws, and then it's got these little hoof kind of feet and a swirly little tail, and it just looks so cuddly. And the whole "they might have come from the moon" thing is just so mysterious. Did they come from the moon? And it has little fang, and it's just so cute. And it also can learn a variety of moves. And being a fairy, I don't think some people realize that fairies are fucking strong. They kick ass! I love my fairy-type Pokemon, and the fact that they are also cute and strong. I love the move Moonblast. It's all about the moon with these Clefairy and Clefable, and later Cleffa. I love their metronome, it's so cute. Anyway, number 8, Rapidash. Now, it was actually pretty hard for me to choose between Ponyta and Rapidash, because Ponyta's cute, but Rapidash is just so goddamn majestic! It was really hard for me to choose. But I did choose Rapidash just because of how beautiful it is, and it's got the unicorn horn, so it's like a unicorn, it's like a flaming unicorn that just, come on, it writes itself. And I love fire types. I really do love fire types. They're strong, they're usually pretty attractive looking, and fire attacks alone are just really awesome. I love things like Fire Blast and Flame Wheel and all of that. Flame Charge is cool. I like Incinerate because it burns up the other person's item. But they can also learn a variety of other moves, like a couple of poison moves, some psychic moves, maybe one or two two psychic moves. It knows a lot of normal attacks, but then again, a lot of Pokemon do. And it can even use Wild Charge. That's an electric type move, my friend, and it's awesome. So, Rapidash. Number 7 is Gengar. This is another one where I had problems choosing between Haunter and Gengar, because I love Haunter. You know, in Generation 1, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar were the only ghost types we got. But I love Gengar because he is cute. He's like a Clefairy or a Clefable, except just dark. A lot of people say that Gengar is a corrupted Clefable, which is ludicrous, but still, it's got that creepy little smile. It just looks so mischievous. It's like, I am going to prank you, and it's going to be fun, and you're gonna hate me until you realize that I don't mean any harm, and then you're gonna love me. And it's got cute little tiny feet and cute little hands, and then it gets a Mega Evolution, and oh, that Mega Evolution. That is some serious Mega Evolution, and you know, I'm not too much of a fan of Shiny Gengar, but Shiny Mega Gengar is gorgeous. It's just so fantabulous. I love Gengar. And on top of knowing countless ghost-type moves, of course, it can know some electric moves and some psychic moves, and they can even learn fighting moves like Brick Break or Focus Blast. And since it's part poison type, it knows some poison moves. And let's not forget the thing that we love most about ghost Pokemon, the fact that normal moves cannot hit them, and vice versa with normal types. I love ghost Pokemon. I adore them. I love them. I love Gengar. Love it! Number 6 is Jigglypuff. How can you talk about cute fairies without talking about Jigglypuff? Now, I didn't have any problems choosing between Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff because I've never actually really liked Wigglytuff. But I love Jigglypuff because, once again, it's so cute! It's a round thing! It's a bubble! It's a bubblegum ball with cat ears and a swirly little hair thing, big eyes, and little nubs for arms and feet. It is cute. And not only is it a fairy type, but it's also a normal type. Normal types can know lots of moves. So you get a Jigglypuff, and you have it for battle. You teach it things like, say, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Grass Knot, and Dazzling Gleam. You got a set right there that covers a majority of different things. Unfortunately, it doesn't know any water-type moves except for Rain Dance. But you got a fairy normal type, so it's immune to ghost types, and it's immune to dragon types. Not only that, but since normal is weak to fighting types, but fairy is strong to fighting types, then fighting type moves are not super effective, but in that mid-ground, and that's why I love me Jigglypuff. Number 5, Bulbasaur. Now, this is a Pokemon whose evolutions, I love all of them. I love Ivysaur and I love Venusaur. Usually with the first generation starters, I would pick Bulbasaur. If not Bulbasaur, then sometimes Charmander. But I love Bulbasaur because it's so cute! It is so cute! It's so, like, fat and has fat little legs, and it really holds up to its name. Like, it looks like a grassy dinosaur. It looks like a dinosaur with a bulb on its back. And in the anime, its voice is so adorable. They're just so happy looking, and they're just so cute, and they're tough, too. They are tough, and when it evolves into Venusaur, Venusaur! I mean, come on! And I'm really glad that the Generation 1 starters got Mega Evolutions because Mega Venusaur is awesome. On top of knowing tons of grass moves, it is also part poison type, so it can learn some poison moves too. And Venoshock is the shit. And then you throw in some normal types, a couple of fighting types, but the poison and grass types really do some damage when you're against the right opponent. It can know one fire type move, which is Sunny Day. It's not really useful, but it's there. Mostly the reason why I love Bulbasaur is just that it's cute and it's strong. Number 4, Ninetales. Ah, yes. Another fire type and another one where I had to choose between it and its pre-evolution. I love Vulpix. I adore Vulpix. But if I wanted to just pick one out of the evolutionary line, I had to go with Ninetales. Because it has its cute factor, it really does. I love going into the Pokemon Ami, whatever, and petting the Ninetales and just getting the best little reaction out of it. It's so cute. And it's just like Rapidash, it's so goddamn majestic! It's beautiful, and it really is the fox. It's a beautiful nine-tailed fox, and it's like golden, and it's furry, and it's so cute, and it's like a type of Pokemon that you would want to be by your side all the time, just walking by your side no matter where you go. It's the type of Pokemon who you'd want to sleep on your bed and cuddle up with it. Its fur has gotta be warm. It's a fire type, but it's just so beautiful, so shiny. And I just want to brush it, I just want to take super good care of it, and it's just so pretty. And of course, along with the normal and fire type moves, you got some other moves too. It can learn Solar Beam. That's a grass type. It can also dig, which is helpful. Got some psychic and poison types. But it can also learn a couple of dark type moves, one of which being Dark Pulse. Now that is an awesome move. Psyshock is a really cool move too. So if you got a Ninetales that knows a couple of fire moves, but then you add on things like Solar Beam, Psyshock, and Dark Pulse, or even one of those switch it out with Dig, you got a strong Ninetales! And you got one that will knock your opponent away. You can cover so much ground with it. And take your opponent by surprise if you're fighting somebody who's not a computer. Number 3. Lapras. Since the very first time I ever saw it, I have adored Lapras. It is so beautiful, and it just screams water. It looks like it's meant to be in the water. And then it got a part ice type, which makes it even cooler. The coolest part of it is the fact that it sort of looks like a water-dwelling dinosaur. And it's got a little unicorn horn, and its little ears are swirly. It's just so cute, and its call in the anime is adorable too. I'm really glad that Lapras did not get a pre-evolution. I feel like it does not need a pre-evolution. However, I believe that it should have a mega evolution. And I actually drew a picture of what I thought Mega Lapras could look like. It's just another majestic Pokemon, and it's a good swimmer, so you can just ride on its back while it's swimming. I love it so much. It's got a mixture of cuteness, beauty, and a sense of badassery. With that shell, with that bumpy shell, it could be pretty badass. It knows countless water attacks, countless ice attacks, and a lot of normal attacks like most Pokemon. But, it can also use Thunderbolt and Thunder. Couple of psychic types, it can use Bulldoze, which is a ground type move, a couple of fighting type moves, and a poison type move, which is toxic. So you got a pretty good moveset with Lapras. Choose the best 4 and you could come up with just the strongest Lapras ever. And it also helps that they're quote-unquote rare in the games. So the first time I encountered one in Pokemon X, I was just like, oh my god! But then it kind of ruins it when you come across that one dude who just gives you a Lapras, and you're like, oh, well, thanks, it's supposed to be rare, but I caught one myself, but okay, I guess I could take another one. I really think Lapras should stay that rare Pokemon that you don't come across very often, and it should get a Mega. Because why the fuck not? Number 2, Farfetch'd. Now, in most of the games, you get a Farfetch'd that's traded to you by an NPC, and it usually has some ridiculous name. But that doesn't change the fact that Farfetch'd is a very useful Pokemon to have. They're normal and flying types, so that normal type really gives it the advantage over ghost types. And also because normal is weak to fighting types, but flying is strong to fighting types, you have that balance. With its design, I like how it's carrying around a leek. That is just cute. It just always has that leek. It actually took me a while to really find the cuteness in Farfetch'd. When I was younger, I used to not like it so much, but it really grew on me, because I'm not the biggest fan of ducks, but it's a duck. It's the wild duck Pokemon. So it's got the webbed feet, and it's got that little marking in between its eyes that look like angry eyebrows, but you can always tell if the Farfetch'd is happy or not. It's got its unique cuteness, and I've kinda had the idea where I wanted to create a pre-evolution of Farfetch'd, but I feel like it doesn't need an evolution, but it should have a mega evolution. Now, on top of knowing almost all of the flying moves, and knowing a lot of normal moves, it also has some psychic and dark types, a couple of bug types, and it can know poison jab. But what I love most about Farfetch'd is it's the Pokemon that I want to have in my party at all times. Almost at all times, if I can help it, because it can know Cut and False Swipe. And the fact that it also knows Fly is very helpful. But Cut and False Swipe are usually very crucial to have in the games. Cut because you have to get past bushes and trees, and False Swipe because you never know if a Pokemon is going to faint by accident. Like if you just happen to be too strong and you wanted to catch it, but then you make it faint. False Swipe ensures that the Pokemon has at least 1 HP. So always carry a Pokemon that knows False Swipe, and there's not that many, so I always have a Farfetch'd with me. And on top of it, it can learn Steel Wing, which is a steel type, of course, but that's a badass move. Oh yeah. And my #1 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is Eevee. Come on, you saw this coming. Now, because Eevee is on this list, it actually counts for all of the evolutions, for all 8 of them. So none of the evolutions will be on my other lists because Eevee just covers it. I love Eevee. I love all the evolutions. I can't think of an evolution that I like better than the other, or an evolution that I dislike. I love all of them. So it's not just one of the cutest little things you ever saw, but it can also evolve into 8 different types of Pokemon! It is so awesome! And each one is adorable. I love Eevee's call in the anime, but their calls in the games are also adorable. I love all their calls. And Eevee's a normal type to begin with, so even if you don't evolve it, you got a normal type that can learn a good amount of moves. I just love how it looks kinda like a fox, but it looks kinda like a dog, and it's just so cute, that little face. How can you not want an Eevee? So it knows all sorts of normal type moves. It can know a couple of fairy moves, dark type move, the psychic type move, which is just rest, but whatever. It can know Shadow Ball though, which you never know when you're gonna need, because if you come up against a ghost type, the ghost can't hurt you. But ghost type moves are strong against ghost types, so use a Shadow Ball and you're in it to win it. It can also know Dig. Dig is a helpful one, but most of its moveset are normal until it evolves. But otherwise, just my #1 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, and all of the evolutions stick with it. I just can't. I just cannot. I just love Eevee. So there you have it. That is my top 10 favorite Generation 1 Pokemon. Now, remember, all of these are just opinions of mine. This isn't like everybody should love this top 10. If you guys don't like certain ones that I had on my list, no problem, it's your opinion. But try to be considerate if you start a debate in the comment section. Remember, there's a difference between debating and arguing, so if you disagree with something on my list, of course you could talk about it, but don't be insulting about it. Respect your fellow commenter! And make sure to leave a like on this video, and subscribe, spread the word of awesome, become a Reitannite, and I shall see you later, alligators and crocodiles. Goodbye!
So just
Hey, check the description for some honorable mentions. Thanks, Springtrap, for waiting to answer me on that one. He was just like, I'm gonna take my own sweet time, 'cause I am Springtrap, and I'm fine.